All right, we are live, is what it says. Welcome, everybody, to Creek Fishing and the Online Outdoorsman channel. We're just going to make a channel right here. This is it.
There you go.
Hopefully, everybody's hearing it clear. Real quick, if anybody has any problem with audio or visual, go ahead and comment. This is my first time trying it out, trying it through a new platform. And it's something that I want to do more, have friends like Ethan come on and we can recap. Like we just got done fishing in Michigan a couple weeks ago. I'm curious to hear some of his take on some of the fishing now that it's been a couple weeks. We've had a couple weeks apart. I'm trying to live stream this through my second channel that I just started, which is John Dalton Fishing or John Dalton Videos. I need a new name for that. Any new names? I actually got an idea of Stream Creek, or I wanted to do Creek Water, but that's like the name of an alcohol or something, and like a rapper or something like that. I'm not sure, but I was like, Creek Water would have been cool to have a name. But anyway, I got to come up with another name, maybe another brand name. But we're just gonna talk some. Y'all got any questions? Put them in there. Hopefully they show up. I got to see a lot of y'all already on here. What's up, Fish Smack? He's always out there catching. Fishing with JJ, Levi Williams on The Real Fishing. What's up, everybody? Glad everybody's here. And if you have questions for us, maybe about our channels, about our fishing trips or anything like that, we're going to go through. We're only going to probably go an hour, and that will be it. So, Ethan, how's it going? How you doing?
It's good, man. I'm doing well. I just got back from a vacation. My family and I went up to Traverse City, Michigan. So just kind of trying to get back to organize. I got to go to work tomorrow. So, I figured I could squeeze this in, though.
Oh, you just got back from vacation today?
Yeah, this morning we got back. So we just kind of hung out, did some beach time, normal stuff.
After I left you, the day I left fishing with you, I went to the Lake Michigan, and I'm like, it just feels like the ocean. I'm not used to anything else. But when I jumped in and swam, I'm like, wow, this ain't the ocean. I was expecting that salty taste.
Yeah.
And it's totally different. And it's like, wow, this is weird.
It's really nice, but it's so cold, but it's been pretty warm recently, so it's actually pretty swimmable.
There were so many people swimming there that day. Was that a Friday? I think it was a Thursday or Friday. I can't remember. And it was the day I left. I went that half day that we fished, and then there were so many people fishing there. I fished off this pier. I caught a giant rock bass. I have a picture of it. I don't know if I sent it to you.
I think you did. I think you did send it.
I haven't edited that video, or I've edited that video. I haven't published it yet, but it was there's a few people fishing there, but it was totally weird just being there. I'm not used to that big water like that.
Yeah, it's different.
But we can talk a little bit about our fishing. So if you don't know that I went up to Michigan, I fished. I think I spent 5 days total in Michigan, and 3 of them with Ethan. We have a bunch of videos. He's got a bunch on his channel already. I've got a bunch out. I got at least one more fishing with you. No, maybe 2. I don't know what I'm going to do with part of another video. But I got at least one more fishing with you. And then I got like two more from my trip that I haven't edited yet. I'm going to either try to get out next week or something. What do you have left?
I have one more video. I'm actually working on it. It's going to take a while though. So that might not be out for a while because I'm very early on in editing, but it's going to be my favorite video yet. It's from our last day together. So it was that Friday before you went to the beach. But when we were on the river and, I caught however many species, like 7 or something, but it was a fun time. And I'm stoked to put that out there because I think people are going to enjoy it, but I have a feeling that's going to be might be a 30+ minute video. It's gonna be a long one.
So that's that's what's crazy is like 2 people can go fishing and one guy, if you have just a few more fish, makes a huge difference. I caught my biggest pike of the trip. You didn't see it, and I held it up for the camera and it like flops off. But you can see it's definitely bigger than those other ones we caught from the river. So I got a whole. I think I titled it "A Full Day of Fishing in Michigan" or something like that. Because I could fish with you, and then I went over there and fished off the pier, and then I recapped kind of my week and stuff.
Yeah,
it was interesting, but I caught that pike. I caught a couple of good bass there. I got you snapping off on a pike. You set the hook, and it just snaps.
Oh man,
it happened 5 times.
I broke off 2 or 3 of them. Again, that'll all be in the next video. But I had a crazy day. caught a couple decent pike, broke off a couple, and bent out the hook on one that I don't know. That had to have been a big fish. I'm really bummed about that. I don't know why my hook it just straightened out on the hook set. I mean, I I don't know what happened, but I think it was probably a big pike. So who knows?
This is my brother-in-law. Where's my shout out? Yeah, family. He does give me some fishing stuff, and we do fish a little bit. He gave me the electric motor for my boat that I haven't used yet. But get off there.
Well, hey, if he's gonna ask for shout outs, I think you should at least use his motor too.
Yeah. No.
Maybe he
He
gives you
also
some.
sold me the drone that I lost. So
Well, hey,
he got his money, but then I
yeah, I
lost it
just
2
see
weeks
a
later.
question from Christopher Wood. Ethan, did you find John's drone for him? No, that drone's gone. However, I did just PayPal him $100 yesterday
That's right.
because my last video, the beginning of the video, I said if this video gets 300 likes, I will contribute $100 towards the drone. Well, that video has gotten almost 700 likes. I never, ever, ever, ever have videos get that much interaction. So the fact that I clearly did not recognize just how powerful this man is. Everybody likes him so much that they all came out to thumb up, thumb up, thumb up. Man, maybe I need to give you another $100. Jeez.
Let's keep it going. Yeah, I appreciate that. I got that. I'm gonna have to order one in pretty soon. I haven't. I wanted to go in there and look, see if I can find one that's just like by itself because I already have all the other pieces. But either way, I've got to get another one. I went with my buddy Josh yesterday. We went kayaking, and he had his drone. We were up in this mountain lake, and he's flying it around. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they're fun, but it's like, as we kind of talked about when we were fishing, it's kind of hard when you film yourself entirely. It's like 90% of what I want to do with a drone, I never get a chance to do because I'm fishing. And like what I would love is if someone was able to fly it like over the top of us while we're casting, while we're setting the hook. Like some of those waters we fished while we were up here, while you were up here in Michigan, it's like, man, they were so scenic. And if we would have been able to capture us like sneaking our kayaks through some of these backwaters and these incredible creeks, I just think that footage would be so unreal. But
Yeah. Oh, for
we need
sure.
another friend.
I actually, Josh was flying his drone. I caught 3 bass while he's flying his drone. And
Nice.
I knew it takes so much patience. That just goes into, if you're talking about YouTubing and editing videos, it takes a lot of patience and effort to make videos because, especially when you love fishing so much, if you enjoy fishing, you just want to focus on fishing. Every time you got to set your rod down to get your phone out for a snapshot or to video 10 seconds or coming around a corner, a little scenic shot over here. It may add up to like 30 seconds total in your video, but it just takes so much thinking about and effort and just discipline to do that stuff. That's why I think a lot of YouTubers they're small and they just don't grow. I think they might catch good fish and put out stuff, but it's all the other little things that really make a factor.
Yeah.
If you're talking about a lure, show a good shot of it or a reel. You do a great job at like showing your reels and like rods when you're reviewing them. You're talking about them and you show a really good view because that's what I want to see it. I want to see what I'm looking at, not just hear you talk about it. Seeing it is a whole other part.
You're right. I mean, that's why, you have to do two things. And that's why it's like a lot of times people ask me like, oh, I want to make fishing videos. And it's like, but where do I start and stuff like that. And it's like, well, just try. And if you like it, you're going to keep doing it. But if you don't like it, you're probably going to stop because you have to like both making videos and fishing. And some of the best fishermen in the world have no interest in making videos, and they could probably help a ton of people, but they don't want to make videos. So they would never be good at YouTube. So you kind of have to just enjoy doing both. And I'm not the best fisherman on the planet by any means, and I'm certainly not the best videographer on the planet. But I'm halfway mediocre at both, so I can do this.
Speaking of that, go ahead and tell us, Ethan, who you are. Your channel's Online Outdoorsman, although you want to change the name. And tell us why. Tell us. So if people look at your channel and maybe they don't know who you are, they're like Online Outdoorsman. I wonder what this guy does. Probably goes duck hunting a lot or something. So tell us a little bit how you are, a little bit how you got started.
Yeah.
And now you're over 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. So
I appreciate it. And yeah, honestly, I've noticed a lot of new people coming in and watching the videos because of you. So thank you. I cannot thank you enough for going out of your way to fish with me because it truly was not only a great time. I had an absolute blast, but you did help me out. So I appreciate that. So yeah, my name is Online Outdoorsman on social media. And I made it that originally because my goal was to bring the outdoors online. I wanted to do a lot of I just wanted to help inspire people to get outside because I'm very passionate about the outdoors first and foremost. But quite honestly, I am a fisherman through and through, and I don't really do anything besides fishing. So what my channel is all about is basically multi-species fishing. I tend to do a lot of bass fishing, a lot of panfish, and a lot of ultralight. So I would say for me, I'm not necessarily opposed to any style of fishing or any type of fish. I just like getting out there and kind of documenting my fish catches, and I like to also really try to document the process of becoming a better angler. Over the last year and a half, I made a series called The Pursuit of a 10, and it was all about just becoming a better big bluegill angler because I had never really paid a lot of attention to bluegill in my youth, but now I recognize they're an incredible sport fish. And so I've documented that process. Well, my goal moving forward is to do more stuff like that. So I want to continue to document the story of becoming a better multi-species angler, whether that's pike or smallmouth bass, yellow perch, the list goes on. It's kind of what I do. So a little bit of everything, but mostly light line multi-species. That was long-winded, but I'm good
Yeah,
at
that
that
was
too.
good. Yeah, you're definitely like really killing that niche of ultralight multi-species and just explaining it to people how to do it and how to get better. And I mean, I've definitely learned things watching, and it's also like I get to hear a lot on my channel about how like maybe people go try to do this kind of stuff I do just because I'm excited about it. You're excited when you catch different fish. When we caught those pumpkin seeds, we were having a blast,
Yeah.
and like I know there's the majority of people that are in the fishing world would not care at all for catching those. But that's the thing about fishing. There's so much to it that what you can have fun with. And but yeah, Ethan's channel definitely is really good at that. And the Online Outdoorsman maybe change his name soon
I might. I honestly, and I know like there's
if
probably
he
people
comes up with the
watching this.
right title.
Yeah, there's people watching this that probably are very familiar with my channel because I saw a couple familiar names. And so there's a chance I might change my name. So one of these days you might see me just put a video out there saying Online Outdoorsman is no longer. Who knows? I don't think that my name makes sense anymore, although it is really hard to let go of something that's been a part of you for like 6 years.
I know. It's like giving up your old phone number when you
Oh
move
my
or
gosh,
something.
yeah, I've never done
Like
that.
I've had a
I've had
number for 10
the same
years.
phone number for I've always had my same phone number.
I changed my number when I moved from Middle Tennessee to East Tennessee because my company supplied the phone, and I was like, I'm not paying for 2 phone bills. I did that at my last job,
Yeah,
so I changed it. But when I left my work, when I left Springdale, they let me take the number that I had, so I didn't have to change again. So that
nice.
was really nice of them. I didn't want to change it again. I had so many people in there. I'm like, I don't even want to have to go trying to message everybody. But let me talk about this one. You can talk about it too. What's your favorite pair of polarized glasses? So I use I use a pair that are from Walmart called Spiderwire, $12 because I'm high end stuff. Um, Super cheap. I mean, they're not the best, but they work, and I really like them. And the reason I started wearing them because the tint to them is it's like a really light color. I don't know what it's called. It's not like a dark tinted sunglass. It's really light. So I do so much fishing in tight creeks with shade, where if you wear dark sunglasses, even if they're
Mm,
polarized, you cannot see into. It's like it's dark. So these are really light and actually make everything like a little bit lighter. So they're very good in dark situations or in shady areas. Um, but I would love to work with a. I would love to have somebody send me. I've tried other ones, but I can't find the lens that is that light. I guess that's the biggest thing for me. I don't want dark sunglasses. I want really light ones for what I do. Now here I'm getting in my old age. I can't go anywhere without wearing sunglasses now. The sun really hurts my eyes.
yeah.
Where 10 years ago I didn't even I never wore sunglasses. I didn't like them. So if I find I get asked that a lot, and if I find somebody that ever wants to partner up and have a sunglasses that I like, I will definitely promote them. But it has to be, and I think it has to be like a reasonable price one. I know you can go get Costas or whatever for $200. I'm sure they're great, and everybody swears by them. But maybe I'll get there, but I'm just afraid of losing them, and it's hard to recommend that to people. You know, some people are gonna. I mean, well, obviously, I just bought a $209 rod, and I got a video coming out talking about that. And I'm like, I addressed it. I'm like, this is expensive fishing rod. Like, I've never bought one this expensive, but there's people out there that don't mind spending that, and I'm one of those people. Now I am. Used to not be, but and there's guys. I know guys that spend $600 on rods. It depends on what you do, but
yeah.
Anyway, what do you wear?
I wear Costas. The Costa Del Mar. Now, yeah, they are more pricey, but I've tried some of the more inexpensive varieties of sunglasses, and I don't know. I think I have a weird shaped head, so when I wear some of the other ones, they pinch like the side of my head, and I just have like massive headaches. So, the Costas I got, they're extremely comfortable, and ultimately, like we have to be careful as anglers. I mean, number one, protecting our eyes for like years to come. I mean, that's you only get one set of eyes, so you want to try to take care of them. But number two, I have jigs coming back at my face all the time when I set the hook and I miss a fish like a bluegill or something, and it's coming back, and it's like I gotta just try to wear sunglasses at all times. So I like my Costas, and as much as I'm wearing them, I kind of justified the couple $100. But again, if I was to find something a little bit more price, a little bit priced a little bit cheaper, that'd be fine. It's just the biggest thing is they need to fit your head right. If they don't fit your head right and they pinch, oh man, that just leads to migraines, man.
I really should buy some. I just don't want to try some out and then I realize I don't like them or something like that. That's my biggest thing. But did you start wearing those when you were bass fishing off a boat?
Yeah. So, well, actually, this is my original pair. I had them sitting right here. And they're still fine, but unfortunately, these ones had like the rubber part on the interior on the nose, and it like peeled back. So now it always does this. It like comes off. So I need to send them in. But I got them many years ago. I actually was able to get them free because I did some work for someone, and then yeah, I had them in the boat, and it was like it was tournament bass fishing, so I'm spending 8 hours on the water. So I don't know. I wanted something decent. But I'm not like you. I don't fish in a lot of shaded areas necessarily. So I have a little bit darker lens. They're not super dark, but they probably wouldn't be quite as good for you.
Yeah, and that's a thing. Everybody has their own little thing that factors into stuff, and sometimes it makes a huge difference. But I'll talk real quick about something I wanted to bring up. And we talked about a little bit. It's also about changing. It's like changing your name. I'm going to be changing a lot here in the next couple months, probably. I just qualified for the Bass Nation kayak tournament. It's a 2-day tournament in 3 weeks, and the week before that. So I got back-to-back weekends where I have kayak tournaments, and then this is like kayak tournament season where if I can qualify for another one, which I'm trying to do. I don't know if I will or not. That's another like a day or 2-day tournaments. And then, so like, I got a bunch of kayaking coming up, and I know I get it every once in a while on my channel. Like, oh, you should go back to your roots. You should go back to creek fishing, blah, blah, blah. Me and Ethan talked about this before. Like, everybody, what did you say? How did you phrase it? Everybody wants you to do what they want or something like that.
I don't even remember how I phrased it.
This great quote. I should have recorded it.
Yeah, I guess so. I say a lot of things, so I can't remember any of them.
But it's like yeah, it's awesome if that's what you like, but they also want you to be real. They want you to be real if it agrees with what they wanted.
Because everybody wants you to do what you want to do as long as it's what they want to do, or something. Like everybody wants you to fish your style as long as it's the style they want. Or something.
Yeah. So, and I'm not going to ever like stop going to creeks, but I have, once I got into pedal drive kayaks, and I started kayaking pretty soon, then I got into pedal drive, and that just makes me want to go explore more and more. It's the same mentality. I want to go out and explore. I want to go as many places as I can go. And whether it's from a kayak or bank or walking a small stream, catching little fish, or going after big bass or something in the river, it's still, I just want to go explore it and go out there and find it. And now I've got this whole like kayak tournament world that I never thought I'd be a part of. That I've done pretty decent in a few of them. And I've won. They're not big time tournaments, but 30 people. But I've won one last year, won one this year. I got like third in one. And that's pretty fun. It's really fun to get into and do. And if this one, the Bass Nation, it's going to have like 120, 130 people in it. Wow. Last year I did it. I got 9th out of 100. Or I think it was 95. 9th out of 95 people, which was awesome. I was blown away. Like, I don't know anything about like, targeting big fish, but I can just go out there and catch. I can go catch fish.
Mhm.
I'm not guaranteeing they're gonna be big. A few of them might be, but so I'm going to be doing a lot more kayak tournaments or kayaking because I got to do pre-fishing and stuff like that. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna do videos on. And then also I started a second channel. So if you don't know, I started a second channel called John Dalton Videos. And I'm gonna try to. My sister messaged me a new name for it. What did she say? Hold on. Real Talk with John. REEL. I don't know what the name was going to be, but you talked about that. So you kind of rebranded a little bit, and you're trying to come up with like, what was your first videos on? Like when you first started, were they different, or have they all been this?
Yeah, I've kind of just like, if you go back and look at my channel, there's some weird. My first videos were pretty garbage, and like that's how you learn though. You just got to keep plugging away. I would definitely say I started out just doing a little bit of everything, and then a lot of bass fishing stuff, and then a lot of more like informative bass fishing stuff. And then I started incorporating some ultralight, and like the more I started ultralight fishing, the more you started seeing it on my channel. And now that's a huge chunk of what I do. So I kind of think it's more been a natural progression for me. I haven't necessarily done like hard cutoffs, but it's just kind of it's just mule tube. No, I don't know. I don't know that I'll do that. I've got the mule fishing YouTube channel totally separate. So mule fishing is my company for those of you who don't know. So I've got that channel separate. And then I want to potentially come up with a name for my own channel that is a little bit more on trend with what I currently do and then what I plan to do in the future. So I wish I would have been smart like John and came up with the right name from the start, because I think Creek Fishing Adventures is such a perfect name. I mean, it's easy to remember. It totally makes sense with what you like to do and what your core is as an angler. And I don't think there's a problem with you going out and doing tournament videos and stuff, because you still, at the end of the day, are a fisherman. So it's okay to deviate a little bit, as long as Creek Fishing Adventures is still kind of who you are. And that's totally the case. Whereas for me, it's like Online Outdoorsman it just doesn't really make sense. So again, I'll talk about all this in the future. I don't need to just overhaul your total live stream on this.
Nah, I just curious. I just like talking about it. I just like talking about YouTube and like how like we're so involved with the YouTube. I started like paying attention to it hardcore like almost 7 years ago now. Like as far as like I'm trying to find out everybody that fishes. I'm trying to find out all this. I'm trying to see all this content. And I know, you see some people they just make these comments, but that's fine. You just have to do what you want to do, and at the end, not everybody's going to agree with you, but that's fine. I've gotten used to that, but I've also tried to explain it to people because I want people to understand how things happen, how things change. I always try to explain stuff about my sponsors and like why I'm doing what I'm doing, and we'll go from there. But all right, let's talk about. We talked a little bit about it, but so I want to talk about after I left you, the next day I went and fished this pond, and I told you I got like 20 fish on a frog, hooked them up in.
Put that video out, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I already put that video out. That's right.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, but I got so excited catching like tiny little bass. I went back and watched it, and I was like, man, I should have toned it down. I was way too excited. But you get caught up in the moment. And I think a lot of excitement comes from you're also making a successful video. Like when something works out, it works out because you're fishing, and it works out because you got it on camera. And it's like a whole thing comes together. So sometimes when you get excited, there's more to it than just that fish or whatever. But I went and fished this. I haven't made this video yet. I fished a pond in Indiana and caught a 5.5 pound largemouth. It's another little lake. But that was so crazy up there. The little lakes, that's just not even. There's one natural lake in Tennessee, and it's on the other end. I've never even been there. I need to go fish there, but there's all these little lakes up that way. Everything. So let's go ahead and go on to mule fishing, and then we'll get some of these comments and stuff.
Sure.
So mule fishing is your fishing lures that you started, and tell me about when you started it, like when did you have the idea, and then just how did you just decide, I'm going to do it?
Yeah, so I'll try not to be super long-winded, but that's kind of who I am. So
Yeah.
Bear with me. So when I was in Arkansas, so I lived in Arkansas prior to Michigan. My job brought me out to California after I got done with college, and then they moved me to Arkansas, and then they moved me here, and I still work for the same company. But anyways, when I was in Arkansas, I was fishing a lot of bass, and I was kind of rediscovering my love for making videos. But then I kind of started picking up an ultralight. I bought a little 5 foot ultralight, and I started fishing with that a lot. Well, I was kind of disappointed with the jigs I was finding on the market. Most of the jigs, as you probably know, there's not very many ultralight jigs out there, and the ones that I was finding either had kind of like an odd head shape, or they didn't have the colors I wanted, or they didn't have the keeper that I wanted. So I originally came up with the mule fishing idea as a ultralight jig, and basically what I was looking for was something with a smaller hook that featured a bait keeper and then had a head design kind of like a Ned rig, so like a micro mushroom jig essentially. Um, Over time, I knew that it wasn't only going to be jigs. So I wanted to follow that up with like hyper durable, hyper stretchy soft plastics. So that's what we have now. So I've got numerous soft plastics, but they're like this stretchy material that some people might be familiar with. And again, they pair perfectly on the little mule jig. And then in the long haul, my goal is just to make it like a light line, multi-species focused company. So it's never going to be like the big swim baits. It's never going to be super specific to one species. I think our industry does a great job of making stuff that are super specific to conditions and species, but I don't think we always do a great job of making things a little bit more versatile. And that's kind of what mule fishing is all about, is just versatility and light line multi-species, kind of just catching fish in any condition, and catching numerous types of fish. So, I mean, you saw it, while you're up here. It's like when I throw a mule jig, I might catch, 6 to 8 species on one trip with the same exact rod and reel. And that's fun to me. And so that's what I did it for. And that's why I still do it. And it's been really fun to see how much success other anglers have had. So that's like a whole new motivator for me over time. It's like, I only get so much time to fish. So when I'm not fishing, the ability to see what other people are catching on the lures that I brought to the market is incredible. So yeah, that's a little bit about mule.
What's the phrase? Necessity is the mother of invention, or something like that.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know, but I
I
like
can't,
it.
but it's something like that. You're starting your mule is basically the same way I started my channel. I got online when I really started looking at YouTube videos. All of a sudden, like I hadn't all I did was watch basketball highlights on it, and you go up there and look Tracy McGrady dunks. That's what I want to watch. And then there's like all these fishing videos, and I see my brother-in-law TJ actually. He'll like watching the bass blow ups, and it was a Bama bass that like was doing these like
Oh yeah.
really good like frog blow ups and stuff like that. And I would see this, and then I'm like, okay. And then River Monsters was like real big, and he'd go out catching these giant fish. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right, where's people fishing in creeks? Where's people catching little fish? Because I want to know what those are. And I can't find it. I really couldn't find anybody that I enjoyed that were doing that and doing it the way that I wanted to see it. I wanted to see them doing it all over and kind of just having fun, going out, catching all kinds of fun fish. Boom. So that was the whole reason I never would have started my channel if it wasn't just I couldn't find anybody doing it. And the only reason I started was to show like my friends. So like it's funny what you come up with if you just think, oh, I should try that. Nobody else is doing it, or I want to see this happen. And so your lures, you have a focus for it because it's exactly what you want. It's like I want to see this, and I know other people will want that. And a lot of times people don't know they want it until they see it. I get so many times people were like, yeah, I never tried creek fishing until I saw your videos. Now I love it. And like it's just one of those things. It's there's a lot of fun stuff out there to do, and in the fishing world, there's so many different types of ways to fish, and times, and how, and what to use, and what you think is fun. Tinkara, the Tinkara addict. I was watching some of his videos the other day. He's using this tiny. I just like it would drive me crazy using that little rod, and he's having a blast going out catching little brook trout and stuff, and then you got guys fishing with big swim baits, and I've done that, and I've caught big old like 20-pound striper on it, and that was a blast. One fish all day, but you can enjoy lots of different types of things. So
Yeah.
let's go through a few of these comments. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a couple of people commenting asking about where mule fishing is. So if you just go to mulefishing.com. You can check out everything. I do want to just be upfront. I apologize about the fact that I am out of stock on some things. Running a business entirely by yourself, it is semi-challenging to do all of those things perfectly, but I am working on it. I'm trying to get better every day. And I will improve my inventory and get things back in stock. So just know that there's some challenges on getting everything back in stock right away. But they will all be coming back in stock. So I apologize in advance for that. But yeah, just mulefishing.com. Anyways, that's enough plugs for my company.
Yeah. And if you want to try, I've used his lures and and they are stretchy and they're strong. They're not going to just fall apart. So that's a big thing in some people's mind. And if you know fishing for small fish, they love to nip that in and just jerk on it. Like you miss 10 to 1 catch because they're just tearing it up. And you can go through a pack of lures if they're not strong without even catching a fish. Those are going to hold up. And so it's something that I would suggest trying if you're wanting to try. And they're gonna hold up, and they're the right size for if you're throwing on a 2 or 4 pound line or whatever. Let's go. Let's see here. Yeah, it says running low on 1/32. 1/32 ounce is my favorite size.
Same.
For multi-species fishing. I feel like you can do anything with it. And
I agree.
Let's see here. Pound for pound, best fight: spotted bass, bluegill, or shellcracker. Everybody says like this fish is the strongest fighting fish. I don't know because everything's shaped differently, but it is hard to go wrong with those like bluegill and pumpkin seed when they get round. I feel like they have more power because they're so round the way they are. But you don't catch spotted bass up there, do you?
No, but I used to catch spotted bass when I lived in Kansas, and
Okay.
then I fished a lot in Missouri too, growing up. So, this is a possible question to answer because I'm totally with you. I think bluegill to me is always going to be one of my top dogs, though, as far as pound for pound, because they're just, I don't know, they're just relentless. They're crazy, especially if you get into some really mad bluegill. But it's, tomorrow you might ask me again, I might say spotted bass.
Yeah, we got spotted bass in our creeks and rivers and lakes, and they're so feisty.
Yeah.
It's hard to not go for them. And the thing is, they've taken over some of the lakes here where they're not
Mhm.
supposed to be, but they are so fun to catch because you can go out there and catch a 13 or 14-inch one, and it just fights like mad. But if I couldn't go, which a lot of places around me, I don't have smallmouth really close, I have to go a little ways, but some of the creeks that have spots in them, oh man, I mean, I'm just as happy catching those, and they get pretty big in streams and stuff too.
How far away are you from Lake? I think it's called Chatouge in
Yeah,
Georgia. Have you ever been there?
maybe it's probably less than 2 hours.
You should definitely.
I
You
think
should
that's the start of Hiawassee, isn't it?
say what?
Isn't that the start of the Hiawassee?
I'm not
Hiawassee?
familiar. Honestly, I fished it in college. I had a
Oh,
bass tournament out there, and I missed the biggest spotted bass of my life, and
yeah,
it cost us in the tournament. We ended up getting 18th total out of like 60 something boats. If we would have landed that fish, we would have made the top 10 cut, hands down, not even close. It was like a 4.5, 5 pound spotted bass, and
yeah,
oh my gosh, dude, that thing was insane. I'm
yeah.
so mad at myself to this day. This is like, I don't know how many years it's been, like whatever, 7.5, 8 years. And I still think about that fish, dude.
We got so many lakes around us that it's that one's probably a couple hours, but I got like I probably got 20 lakes that are closer, like within driving distance. But yeah, I want to go fishing. It's either the Hiawassee or the Ocoee. But
Hmm.
Mike out fishing says Mule should make a 3-inch leech. I know a lot of people are making leeches, and that's definitely.
There's certainly no shortages of ideas.
Oh yeah,
Definitely, I like the idea. I think honestly, the Mule Minnow 3.2 probably looks about like a 3-inch leech. I could potentially add different colors down the road to make it look a little bit more like a leech. But yeah, it's a great suggestion.
I like this one here. We talked about this, and Adventure Outdoors says we need a link. Uh, Ethan is the owner of his company, and he can't really give out links or he wouldn't be making any money. So maybe in the future he'll be able to do something like that.
I thought he just wanted a link. Like, oh, how do I get to it?
Oh, I thought he was talking about like a discount link.
Oh, everybody, yeah. Everybody always
I'll
asks for discounts.
you can probably type in mule fishing supply, and I'm pretty sure it comes up. Anything in bubblegum color? Yeah, I want to know this.
As of right
Where's
now,
the bright colored lures?
As of right now, I don't have. I see that is one of the hot colors on my top priority list. So don't worry, the day will come for a bright pink or a bubblegum. Just one thing, just a little peek behind the curtain when it comes to like running a business. Any business that consists of goods, one of the biggest challenges is inventory. And the reason is because if you put all of your cash into inventory and it doesn't sell, well, you've got a bunch of money sitting here in product. But so you can't go too long because you only have so much money. But if you don't go long enough, then it might sell out and you need more. And so it's like inventory, balancing how much money you have in it versus trying to stay somewhat lean to run efficiently. It's always a tough thing to do, but I'm figuring it out. It just takes time. I'm not the smartest guy in the world.
Yeah, I may be behind, but yeah, I'm behind. But yeah, mule fishing, type it in, you'll find it. Go to his channel, Online Outdoorsman. He's got his links on there. I'll add it in. Any comments you see, I'm behind trying to catch up. Dude, the Carolina bass hunter, Kyle, I caught another 7-pounder today. I hate this guy. He catches some giant like bass and catches big spotted bass. He lives in South Carolina. He's always posting stuff over there. I went fishing town. I need to get back over there. But so also I am going to be coaching basketball again this year. So I didn't get that for sure till this week. So I'm kind of like in rush mode to kind of finish up a bunch of anything I want to get done before basketball season starts. So I got maybe 2 months before I'm like kind of tied down to where I can go. But that kind of is throughout the winter. So that'll be fine.
Yeah, we're going to play one-on-one whenever we get together again.
I got to get back in shape.
We'll live stream it.
Yeah. That'll get some views. We're going to see some really slow crossovers and probably getting about 3 or 4 inches off the ground.
Why is the live stream lagging? No, that's just
yeah. Wait, it's blurred. No. Let's see here. Any other questions before I ask you my last question? Yes, Yumdinger is my lure. That's what I do. All right, I got a question for you. We could talk a little bit after that, and sorry for coughing. I think ever since I had COVID like a year ago, I think I've coughed ever since. The lingering effect. I don't even know if I actually had COVID for sure. Like I never had any of the like problems. Like the only thing I had was like I was a little bit tired for a couple of days. So okay, I'm gonna figure out how to word this because I want to start doing more live streams and I want to ask everybody I talk to this question. So you can help me phrase it better. And anybody who wants to chime in on this, this is gonna blow your mind. This is very in depth. All right, if money and time was not a factor, where, what, when, how would you go fishing? What kind of fishing trip would you do? What kind of fish you going for? Maybe a certain style, maybe a certain year, maybe it's in the past. I don't know. Probably something you could actually do. Maybe what country or species or take it however you want to take it. You could do a fishing trip. No, time and money is not a factor. Or your kids. You don't have to see your kids either. They don't care.
I think if it was, this answer might be different every week you ask me, but I think really the one thing that always will kind of come to the top for me is I just want to fish the biggest, most amazing river with the most crazy ecosystem in the world, and the Amazon. I want to fish the Amazon, and I think like the top priority would be like big peacock bass, but quite honestly, if I could go down there and just be exposed to the total ecosystem and catch as many species as possible and admire them and get to see them up close, that would be incredible for me. I think that's definitely like my top bucket list, is to go down to the Amazon and make something like that happen.
What kind of do you want to take like all your fishing gear so you can fish for like every different type of thing? Or is there like certain things like
Yeah, that would be the hard thing. I think, like, realistically, I'd probably end up just, like, using gear from whatever, like, guides or something, but I would probably bring some of my own stuff too. I would think, like, I would definitely want something heavier for, like, the big bad fish, right? The peacock bass, 20-pound peacock bass hitting a topwater. I don't want an ultralight for that. No, I want something that I can hook them and reel them in. Um, like, would it be cool to catch, like, an arapaima and some of those too? Absolutely. Obviously, we need a big beefy rod for that. But then, like, just going out there with, like, mule gear on an ultralight and just seeing what the heck I catch, like, yeah, of course I would carve out time for that too. So I think it would just be like a taste of everything, in my opinion.
Yeah, that who was it? I forgot his name now. Ty Pig Patrol. So he went down to
Yeah.
he's gone a couple of times, but like a couple times ago he went, and I messaged him about it, and because he fished they were fishing for bait fish in like one little small area, catching like some kind of wolf fish or something. I
Hmm.
don't even know. Wolf chub. They called him a wolf chub or something like that.
Sounds
And I
scary.
was like, how cool would it be just to go down there with my average bass rod? I would
Yeah.
have to go just with it, my medium bass rod, to catch all the little, like, just different, just what could you pull out of there? Like what in there is small? But I think, well, the thing, if you had the unlimited amount of time, you could do that. But if you only have like a certain amount of time, you really want to focus on those big ones and just
Oh, yeah.
you catch a big one. So I can see
Yeah.
how it'd be so hard to like do different things. That's why I was like, if you had the all the time in the world, you could spend 2 months there and just be like,
Oh,
what are we gonna go for today? I'm gonna
yeah,
go hit this.
that would be cool, and then being able to, like, maybe even try to eat some of the fish too, just, like, see like, just
Oh yeah,
experience the culture aspect, like, there's 1,000 things I wanna do, man, it's just like you said, it's, like, time and money, and I would say at this point, time is the hardest thing for me to get. I mean, it was incredible to be able to get 3 like, to me, it's like, you don't always have to do these big extravagant things to have a blast. I mean, honestly, spending 3 days fishing with you here in my neck of the woods was some of the most fun I've had since doing this YouTube thing. I mean, it was truly incredible because I don't know, I was a little, like, it was just so weird for me because you're used to collaborating with other people that you see on the internet. It's still kind of new for me. So, like, when I saw you at the ramp, I pulled up. I'm like, dude, that's the guy, like, I watch on the internet. Like, you're as big of a celebrity as I would care to watch as anybody. Like, I don't care about all the people in the magazines at the front of a grocery store. I literally could care less. I don't really care very much about professional athletes. What I care about is, like, the fishing community and the people that are, like, cool and real, and you're about as real as they get. So I don't know. I think you can have fun with any style of fishing. The big extravagant stuff sounds great, but I think that's more something I just lay in bed and think of to put myself to sleep. And will I ever fish the Amazon? Maybe, maybe not. But I can have fun fishing a little creek 20 minutes down the road.
yeah, yeah. I like to. I say it a couple times, sometimes on my videos, but I think about it when I go to these little creeks that are. I get down in this little. I go down through the bushes, get down this little creek. It could be in between businesses and a highway, but
Hmm.
I'm the only person down in there, and I get to just do whatever I want to catch, whatever I want to catch. Nobody else is bothering me. Nobody's pressuring me. Those fish are totally wild. They're not. They're not stocked. They're not put in there. Half the time, people don't even know what kind of species are in there. And I got a creek here that it's become one of my favorite creeks. I was gonna go to it, but it just like flooded again today. And the last time I fished it, I caught 9 species of fish on a like same size lure, and I saw other ones in there that I probably could have caught if I'd have downsized. I'm like, that's just crazy. And that was on like a 2 hour trip. So like, yeah, I loved all the other ones. So that's for me. I've thought about it. Like you said, it probably changes from week to week. But mine is to get in on the coast somewhere, New York, whatever, and drive all the way across to whatever the other side, California. And every body of water, every stream I cross, I'm stopping and fishing. It would take me about 20 years to
Yeah,
get
you
across.
might just start now.
Yeah.
Hey, your
But
next channel, your other channel name could be like the Fish Nomad,
yeah,
and you just like you're roaming across the country. I think your channel would probably do incredibly well because people would find that fascinating, but it would also be a very hard lifestyle.
I really wanted to do it this year where I went out for like 3 or 4 weeks of traveling, but man, that's going to cost so much. I'm oh, it's just there's so much involved in it, and but anyway, I that's me. I love just what's in every little hole you come across because every one it could be totally different from the other one, And then sometimes you might go somewhere and not catch something that you didn't know is in there. And then like I fished last, what we were talking about before on the live stream was I fished last week in South Georgia, catching redfin pickerel out of that much water in a dried up creek where there's a creek. It's totally dried up around, and there's just like a little bit of water left in there. Like I don't even know how these fish live in there. And I'd been there once before, and we didn't know they were there, but you had to know like where to cast. And I caught 2, had about 5 hit. They come out like a pike comes out. They just wham, and they were hitting my rooster tail. They were just shooting out after it, and they're about 6 inches long. And it was so interesting to just to see what all was going on there. But
that's definitely a species I want to catch, a redfin pickerel really bad. So I'll have to get down to the southeast at some point. Now, someone asked also if I'm ever going to make it down to Tennessee to fish with you. I mean, quite honestly, like that's definitely a goal. It's just, again, for those that don't know me, John does this for a living. It would be amazing to ever be at that point, but I do have a full-time job, and then I've got a family at home, and so it's harder to travel for this sort of stuff. Not to say it's never going to be done. I definitely want to make it down to Tennessee and fish. And if I can just carve out maybe like a long weekend, maybe we can make that happen.
Yeah, that we were talking about that. It takes a lot to move around, and I don't take it for granted. I've been able to go for 3 years fishing as much as I want. I have done more fishing in the last 3 years than probably 20 people's lives, and I've learned so much from doing that. It's just one of those things you don't know until you do it, and then you can't replace it. That's why I say if YouTube stops, if my channel crashes tomorrow, there may be people that like, oh, you couldn't keep it up or whatever. I don't care. I've had a blast doing what I'm doing, and it's something that that's why I quit my job. I had 23,000 subscribers when I quit my job, but it was just me. I was single, had everything paid off and all that. And yeah, I know it wasn't making enough to live off of, but it's one of those chances that I had that I didn't care for the last 2 months. I was going to try it out.
That's incredible.
I don't suggest everybody do that. I'm confident in me being able to take care of me. I didn't have anybody else I had to worry about. So, but that was fun. I had a couple last questions in here. Forgot what it was now.
Well, I'm super proud of you, dude, for making it and for taking that leap and living your dream right now. And I just hope you can continue to grow. I know you will. And these people in the comments, all of you, it's super kind to see all this wonderful audience you have that is so in support of you. And that's what it really takes. And so the fact that you're able to make a living off of that, it's because people like these guys right here are incredible, and they support. And I just can't wait to see you grow some more and keep doing some cool stuff. And then when I'm sitting here, in Michigan watching you fish the Amazon, I'll just pretend it's me.
Yeah. I hear that from so many people that I don't know if you hear that on your channel. They're like, I can't get out and do what I used to do, but I'll just live vicariously through you.
Pretty much.
It just brings so much joy whenever people say stuff like that. It's like you get to, and that's the thing. Me and you, it doesn't matter. And there's other guys out here that have 1,000 subscribers, or and we're all bringing joy to somebody. People are watching it because they enjoy it. Some channels are bigger than others. I don't know why. Only God knows why certain channels are bigger than others, because you could go on forever about that. But it's definitely a fun way to live. It's a lot of tough work, and that's the thing. Like Ethan's trying to do it, and he's got wife, kid, job, and everything. So I know you are, and in trying to grow your mule fishing company. So I know you're putting it all, everything you got into this, and just keeping it going. But I got to thank the fans. We got a lot of good comments. We had some people donate some money. I didn't recognize that, but I 100% appreciate it. Thank you for obviously all the people that are keeping us going and subscribe to both of our channels and watch them. That's the main thing. It really doesn't matter if you subscribe. If you don't watch it, it doesn't mean anything. I can have 300,000 subscribers and have 2 views, and I wouldn't make any money or be able to keep doing this. So subscribers help me get my sponsors, and I got a second kayak. Recently I got to take that up there. This guy's the people viewing it. So hopefully more things will come. If it does, I'll share them with you. thanks so much for Ethan, the Online Outdoorsman, for now, anyways. Thanks for joining me. He was showing me all around, like taking me. He took off work for 3 days just to take me places. And one of the cool things we got to do, we went somewhere different every day, and every place we fished was a different place, and it's like a new experience. Spillways, lakes, rivers, big rivers, just all kinds of fun stuff. I'll leave one last thing. So I'm gonna add it to a video from the day that I met you. I got there late. You were already out in the water catching your 4-pound largemouth, and I was on the bank getting ready. These two old guys come up, and I should have kept the whole conversation. They come up to see my kayak. They're putting a boat in, and they're like, "What's that?" They're asking about it, and they're like, "You got a fish finder on there?" I was like, "No, this is a pedal drive." I'm like, "What?" They look at. I was like, "Yeah, you pedal it, and you can pedal around the kayak." He said, "Well, how about that?" And he's like, "Well," I had my camera up. He's like, "What's this? You take pictures of the fish?" I was like, "Yeah, I video it and make videos of fishing." "Oh, that's awesome." And then I talked to him. I was like, "I'm from Tennessee." And he's like, "Oh, okay. So what do you do for a living?" I was like, "This is it. Make YouTube videos." Like, "YouTube? What's that?"
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was like, "Have you ever heard of YouTube?" Like, "No." I was like, "Well, you should." But there's still people out there. They want to watch. They just don't know about YouTube. So
That's wild.
anyway, anything last thing to say here?
Those people probably live a very happy life. Social media is
Oh
a
my
weird
goodness.
thing.
Yeah.
Social media is such a blessing, and it's so much fun to do this sort of stuff. But always have a balance, and try not to get too focused in on all the social stuff. As much as we appreciate the views and appreciate the kind words and everything, make sure to get out there and go fish and enjoy the outdoors too, and turn off the phone for a little bit. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot else to say. I appreciate everyone taking the time to interact and engage. I'm sorry I missed a lot of comments. And thank you to everyone who has actually checked out my channel as a kind of a byproduct of all this. So appreciate you.
Yeah, I lost what I was going to say. I had some awesome thing to end it with, but I don't. We don't expect. I tell people this a lot because I get a lot of supporters, and I know you do too, that are like diehard and they don't want to miss anything. I don't expect everybody to watch every video. I'm not going to watch every video Ethan puts out. You know, he's not going to watch every video I put out. There's not enough time to watch everybody out there. So don't put pressure on yourselves, and we don't want you watching just to be forced to watch it. We want you to enjoy it. So, but anyways, thanks everybody. Thanks, Ethan. We're going to end the broadcast here. And this is my first live stream. I got it live stream on my channel, Pig Fish Adventures. I'm probably going to end up deleting it off this channel and leaving it on my second channel, John Dalton Fishing, or John Dalton Videos. I don't even know what the name it is. I'll probably rename that something. And I'm trying to really work on my second channel to add some extra stuff that maybe I don't need to have on main. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks, everybody.